As Belzar, right? And so that was just like a little highlight that they put at the bottom in purple. And it says the king was very angry. He told his servants to make a fire 7 times hotter than usual. The king's men took hold of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and put them in the middle of the red hot fire. The fire did not burn Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. The king could see them walking around in the flames. He saw another shape in the fire too. The king knew that this must be an angel. He called to them, "You servants of the Most High God, come out at once." The 3 men walked out of the fire. They looked just the way they had before. The flames had not burned a hair on their head. Praise be to God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. The king cried out, "No other God has such great power." Then it got Daniel and the lions. In time of the kingdom, it says, in time the kingdom of Nebuchadnezzar came to an end, just as the land of Judah had been taken by Nebuchadnezzar. So was Nebuchadnezzar, land of Babylonia, taken by the king of Persia. The new king, Darius, divided the country into many states. Each state had a governor. Darius needed someone to rule over all the governors. He needed a person who was wise and honest. He chose Daniel. Some other men in the government was jealous of Daniel. They wanted to show the king that Daniel was not fit to rule the kingdom, but they could not find anything wrong with his work. The jealous men knew that Daniel was a Jew who prayed to God every day, so they came up with a plan to use his faith to get rid of Daniel. The men went to King Darius. "O king," they said, "you are the greatest king. We wish to honor you. We think the people should honor you too. Please make a law that says no one in the land may pray to any god or man, but you for the next 30 days. If anyone disobey the law, he should be thrown into the pit filled with lions." Darius made the law, and it is written down. This is crazy, God. A few years later, the men came to see the king. They told him that someone in the land was not obeying the new law. The Jew Daniel had been seen praying 3 times a day, even though he knew about the law. Now King Darius saw that the men had tricked him. That's crazy, ain't it? But the law was in writing and could not be undone. Daniel was taken to the pit. I'm sorry, King Darius said. "You have been faithful to your God, and I pray that he will rescue you." The men threw Daniel into the pit with the hungry lions. The men put a stone over the pit so he could not escape. All night Darius worried about Daniel. Crazy. It says, all night Darius worried about Daniel. He could not eat or sleep. In the morning, he ran to the pit. Daniel, he called, "Was your God able to save you from the lions?" From inside the pit, Daniel said, "My God sent an angel to keep the lions from eating me. O king, I have never done anything to hurt you." The stone was taken away, and Daniel came out of the pit. Y'all got chills. That's crazy. God had saved him because he was faithful and true. King Darius saw this and ordered his people to honor the God of Daniel. Then they got Queen Esther next. That's crazy. It says, when King Cyrus ruled in Babylon, things changed for the Jews. Cyrus said that they were free to go back to Jerusalem, but many liked their home and wanted to stay. However, some people didn't want them there. One man, Haman was his name, did not like the Jews. Haman was a high official in the government of the next king. I don't know how to say his name. Whatever. And he was a grudge against Mordecai, a Jew who would not kneel down to him. This made Haman very angry. Haman came up with the next evil plan that would get rid of not only Mordecai, but the Jews in the land. Haman told, is his name Azarias? That the Jews did not obey the laws and were a danger to the land. The king believed Haman lied. He told him to do whatever he wanted with the Jews. Haman sent out letters in the king's name. The letter said that on the 13th day of the 12th month, it's crazy, that's in 1331. It's crazy, I see 1222. That's crazy. Haman sent out a letter in the king's name. The letter said that on the 13th day of the 12th month, all Jews in the land could be killed. That's crazy. And their money taken. It says, when the king's wife, Queen Esther, heard about the letter, she was very sad. Mordecai was her cousin. Esther was a Jew herself. She had never told the king. Should she tell her husband now and beg him to spare the Jews? Or should she stay silent and save her own life? Esther was beautiful. She was also good and brave. She went to the king and said, "If you care for me and are willing to help, you can save my people." She told him what Haman had done. The king loved Esther very much. Without a second thought, he made a new law. Now on the 13th day of the 12th month, the Jews would be able to defend themselves. As for Haman, the king had hanged that very day. What? Hold on. It says Jews will be able to defend themselves. As for Haman, the king, that's wow. It says, wait a minute, let me go back. It says, as for Haman, the king had him hanged that very day. The Jews survived and had a big celebration. They honored the king and their brave Queen Esther. And it says, Purim is the name of the festival that is held every year to remember this event. On Purim, the story of Esther is read out loud, and every time Haman's name is said, children use noisemakers to draw out out the sound. That's crazy. We got little stories in here, right? But I just found it crazy, right? I ain't gonna go too no more. But I just found it crazy how, right? Y'all said what I said, right? It's people out here who don't like us, right? Who don't like us. And they went far and wide to lie on us, right? They did so much and to try to make a mockery out of God's people, right? And so when you said, and I said, and she said, and he said, right, that we love God and how, right? Let's tell the testimony, right? Right? I testify. I'm gonna tell the truth and the whole truth. And you know it ain't a lie, right? These people tried to, first what they did was they got about their seat and tried to discredit, right? They would try to discredit you. That ain't happen. And then when they get up and they actually see that never really did happen, right? They start going envious and jealousy in their heart, right? When Yeshua said, the devil, he got you now, right? He got you now, right? That means that his heart was already set, right? Ain't nothing gonna just come out of nothing and come up in nothing and come up in something to be something if it ain't already there, right? And so it was already there. It was already in him, right? The jealousy, the envy, right? It was already eating at him. It was already gnawing at him, right? And so he went into action. I'm gonna go do this and I'm gonna do that, right? I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. And it's all fun and games When they don't find you out, right? When you sit there and you think that you ain't being found out, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna do this next street, and I'm gonna lie on you, I'm gonna lie on you, I'm gonna lie on you, because it's my spot, my spot, my spot, my spot, and I'm gonna abuse my spot, I'm gonna abuse my spot, right? And so, right, they went up there, thinking the person was gonna take a peek on their own, went up there and lied all up on you, right? Oh, she did, she that, she did this, she did that, she did this, she did that. Lied on you, jealous, jealous. And they do other things too, because other people win on it. It's like, oh, that person's problem, they say they connected to God. They all got spiced up, right? Before they entered into the game. They're like, give me some spice. I want some spice too. Why y'all get spice before y'all get to play? I don't get no spice before I get to play. Right? They did all this stuff, even though your DNA said so, right? When they went to go really dig in your background and try to use people on the platform to say little weird stuff and they stuff, right? Pertaining to them, to let you know that they threaten you. Woo! Ooh, I could use milk and cream. Right? Do this. What's this? What's that? It's problems everywhere. Right? What's this? What's that? Right? Nightmare Before